Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Saturday. Don't we wish it was Saturday? Happy Wednesday afternoon. My daughter would make so much fun of me for losing track of what day of the week it is, but I gotta tell you, man, it's been busy. Why? Why is it so crazy during the summer when you just want to sit around and relax and it's just nuts constantly? So many things going on, and I haven't had time to craft like I wanted to. Just in the last couple of days, I've started getting messages from people telling me that they are into making their craft kits and using up their scraps and being busy with actual crafting. And I think a lot of people have been too busy to craft for a while. Hi, Heather. So the first thing on the agenda, I have two kind of biggish projects, and I know that's really stupid because people can't watch when my lives are like an hour long, but I don't care. I want to show you all the ideas, and I can't consistently be on here twice a week. I probably could. I could probably try. I don't know. Anyway, this is for the drawing for the VIP group, people who commented for me a couple of weeks ago to now, and today is the day. The winner, whoever this name is winning this very great stencil pack. It is stencil pack 1. It is the one that has like the travel stuff, and it has like the wood grain and the trees and the really cool sun and waves and water. You're gonna really appreciate that, especially with the new catalog. And the winner is Karen. Hey, Karen. I've got your glitter brush here too, so I'll just put it with that and add it to your pile. Wow. Hold on. Ugh. Sorry, I had to set that on the table and I had to step over my dog, and he's quite big. Okay, the other thing I want to announce is my husband has been cleaning out the print shop again, and he brought me home 8.5 by 11 red paper. It is the same color on both sides. It's kind of a rosy-ish red. Here is candy apple red, and here is the red he brought me. I'm going to kind of move my light a little closer so you can kind of see the color better. The reason I'm saying that is because he brought me over 6 inches worth, like a stack like that, of 8.5 by 11 red cardstock. Now, I love it, but it doesn't exactly match close to my heart paper, but it is so close, and it would be great for envelopes, for cards and stuff. So if you want some of this paper, I'm happy to ship this with your Hostess Club stuff. I'll just add it to an envelope, and I don't care if it costs me an extra $1 to mail it or whatever. I just think I would really rather not store this and have it gathering dust. I like to keep a healthy amount for myself, but I do not need all that I've got. So if you want it, message me and I will definitely set you up. It is really great, and I'll show you a use for it here with one of my projects today. Specials is the other thing I'm going to talk about. So we know that the current catalog is ending end of June. The supplemental catalog, the core catalog ends the end of July. So we're nearing the end of these catalogs. The big news will be the new supplemental catalog, which I will show next week. I know that a lot of people are starting to get them in the mail, and I always mail one to myself as well, just to get an idea for when they will arrive, because they come directly from close to my heart, and I got mine last night. My mail comes at like 7 or 8 p.m. and so at 8 o'clock last night, the mailman brought me my new catalog through the mail system, which means you guys should be getting yours soon too. I'm happy to say they've also did a bring back my pack. And this one you may remember, I looked all over the place for my project that I did for my hostess club with this. It was a framed picture. I just love it. And I think I put it away with my Valentine's stuff. But what's really great about this special is it's almost all black and white papers, and that means it'll coordinate with anything. So you could get this and you can mix them in with almost anything else, and it's a great value. There are some very cool workshops online for card making and scrapbooking. I personally like the scrapbooking one a little better. Here's the cards for the card making set, and see, you have to have the stamps, and this time they decided not to sell the stamps with the paper pack or with the bundle. They're selling those separately so that you can pick and choose. And I think this one is the original one that came with this stamp set or with this pack anyway, from back in 2013. And I don't think I have it anymore, but that's probably why they're selling it separate, is because some people may have that already. And then look at the scrapbook pages. Now, these were made by, remember I told you there's like, I don't know, 9 or 10 consultants who they contracted to make special kits and workshops throughout the year. This one was done by Kelly Baxter Fitzgerald, she is one of the first or second in the company every month in sales. She sells a lot of kits like this. And so she used that stamp set like crazy. She used the doily looking one, which is not my cup of tea, but I really love how she used it, and I really love how her pages turned out. And so you might take a look at that because you might have a stamp set that you can, sub in if you want to recreate her layouts, because the layout instructions are online, so you can use any paper pack with them. But it is really nice to have the papers, ready to roll. Now, you can put any colors with this that you want. They used kind of the muted, what I call kind of gray tones of colors, like the grayish pink, the grayish blue, the grayish green, that kind of softer look. But you could go with a bright, bold, there's no reason you couldn't put hot pink with this. I mean, so this is kind of a cool bring back your pack, and a lot of you may remember it. I am determined. I need to go through my Valentine's stuff. It's just in a little bin, and pull out that framed set that I made using this, because I think you guys will remember it. Okay. Whew. The next special. So this catalog starts in July, which means we're all going to be focused on this catalog in July. The big core catalog ends at the end of July, and during that month they've also decided to release a special, and it's called Memory Lane. I have no pictures, I have no idea the colors. It just says that it's in an everyday theme in a bright summery palette. That's what I think it said cheery summery palette. Who knows what that will be, but it's going to be just like that bring back my pack, in that it's going to have the papers, the stickers, a stamp, the coordinating cardstock, and it's all going to be like exclusive and special, etc. So keep your eyes out for that. That'll be July 1st. If I get a sneak peek before then, which I usually do not on those, I'm surprised I even know about that special. But if I get a sneak peek, I will definitely post it on this group page, because we all want to see it, and we all want to see this. This is the one I just got in the mail yesterday. So last night. So you guys should be getting yours too. Yay. And we'll go through it next week because there's some hidden things in there that are really special. Okay, the first project I want to show you. I went back, I was kind of looking for something to put out for 4th of July without getting out all of my 4th of July stuff. I'm gonna raise my camera up a little bit. And I found this wreath on the Close to My Heart blog. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm totally gonna make that. This is such a simple project. You guys, this could be a kid craft. That's how simple this is. But I love how it looks and I love how it turned out, and it's really sturdy. I mean, it's super sturdy. And so I just want to show you a few little tricks on how it was made. So these cones, basically, it was made with all these little paper cones. And this is the worst part about making the whole thing. So the blue ones are 4x4. The red ones, which, see, if you don't have a good stash of red, you could always just holler at me and get this red out of my kitchen here. I say kitchen because I don't use my kitchen at this house like a regular kitchen. I have storage of craft supplies in it as well. But anyway, I have 4x4 blue, 3.5 by 3.5 red, and then the white is 3x3. So the cones are different sizes, and you decide which side you want to look out, and you basically just roll them up. And what I did to make them roll up easier is I kind of like rolled them over the edge of my counter. I can't show that very easily, but I can roll it and then show you. See how it kind of makes it curvy? And then I basically just, I used liquid glue, and I just put glue right here and put it together. Now you can, just like that. And I made some of the cones really tight and some of them a little wider because I wasn't sure how well they would fit in this circle. So I want to show you how and then they recommended, you know, just use hot glue. I mean, you can use hot glue, and that's great. But the only problem with the hot glue is, like, I was gonna put this on my outer door with, you know, it has a screen door over it or a storm door over it. But I thought, you know, really, the heat that builds up in that door would probably melt the hot glue. I was a little worried about that. And so let me just show you some pictures. I took a few as I went along. So this is like, what you do is you cut like a 9.5-inch circle out of cardstock. And I cut 3 of them and I just glued them together. And can you see how non-circle-y they are? I just sort of made like a dinner plate, okay? I just traced it, cut it out. It doesn't show, who cares, right? And then I did a second layer kind of in between the other blue, and that's what it turned out to look like. And then I did a layer of red, and notice I did the cones seam side down. So, you know, since the seam isn't showing, it looks like a flower. Look at that. And there's the white layer. And then at the end, I wanted something in the center that was poofy looking. And so I used coffee filters. So let me just put that aside and let me show you. So I think I used 9 or 10 coffee filters. I probably overstuffed it. But basically what I did was I took a couple of coffee filters. Why are these so hard to separate? Okay. And then I folded it in half. You guys have made crepe paper flowers as kids, right? I just like folded it and folded it. And I just did this to each coffee filter, and then every 2 or 3 I stacked them together like this, and then I took my giant scissors and I cut it down to about there. And now I could have gone to Cricut. That's what they did on the Close to My Heart blog. They cut some flowers using Cricut, like using like Flower Market, or one of the, there's tons of flowers, and then they just layered them in there. And I did this, so can you see how cool that looks? And when you I did, like, this is 2 coffee filters, so when you get 10 in there, it's like, and I just sort of folded it down like that, put some glue on there, and stuck it in, and that's the only place it's glued. But I put in so many that it feels full. And you could even put a coffee filter down, as to make sure they stay in a circle. I did not, do that. But let me show you one more time, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I just stuffed them in there, see? And my coffee filters, are not pure white. They're like just a little bit of an off-white, but you can't tell. And then for the stars, I love that Hello Darling star set. I've been using it a lot for different things because it has basically it's just a thin cut of stars, and I cut a couple and I glued them onto a toothpick like that, and then I glued the toothpick in to place wherever I wanted it. There you go. I love it, and it gives me a fun thing. Now, to make the hook on the back, I just used a piece of twine and I glued it, and then I taped it just to give it a little extra sturdiness. But it's on there, it's not going anywhere. I could hang off of it, I think. That glue, man, that's some strong stuff. Anyway, I love how this turned out. I really think this is fun. And I thought of it as a throwaway thing, like, you use it, next year you get rid of it or whatever. But I really think I could store this and use it for a long time until it fades out. It may not last on my front door with the sun, who knows? All right, I'm gonna set this aside. Oh my gosh, isn't that fun? I'm just like, that was so cool. And that was because I was just kind of looking for ideas, and I went through the Close to My Heart blog, and I just thought that was really neat. Okay. It's been a while since I scrapbooked, and I really love the Melon Mania stuff. And I was thinking about melon and the colors that go with it. And when you think of melon, you think of it as an orange, and typically on the color wheel, the opposite of orange is like a blue. So as you move around the color wheel, you're looking at blues and greens looking, the best with that. Let me just turn off my iPad. Every time I have problems right now with my cameras outside. They're going off every time the wind blows and the trees move or are moving shadows or something. So I need to readjust them, but the alarms are driving me crazy. Okay, so anyway, so I chose this color palette, which is like melon and glacier and seabrook, and I like the soft colors with it, but I could just as easily have done, like a eggplant, a sangria, a dark colors with it. I just think it goes with a lot. So today I sort of planned a couple of things in my head. Now the paper itself, one sheet is this like all over melon with little white flowers, and the back of it is a check, and I like the check. I like the flowers. I like the check. But always my favorite are on the same page. I don't know why that is, but why is that? This geometric is super fun, and the back of it is polka dots. And I don't love polka dots, okay? I like polka dots, but I don't know about this one. There's something about it that doesn't call my name. But I love the geometric, I don't know. Now the third one I'm gonna use on a page, and I'll show that to you first before I do the other page. It's kind of buried because I was gonna do it last, but I really think I wanna show you the paper. All right, so here is one pattern. The back is sort of a faded ombre melon, which is great, but I love this paper. This paper reminds me of the bedspread I had back in the 90s. Back in the 70s, when I had a blue bedspread that looked just like this. It was like blues and greens and stuff, and I just loved it. And it kind of reminded me, for some reason, it brought my attention to like, oh, I could use this for my 70s pictures. But I'm gonna put it like this so that it's facing each other, and make a 2-page layout. And then I started thinking about the new stamp, one of the new stamp sets in the new book. Are you ready? Is this one right here. It's called Summer, and basically it is the word summer. It's a little hard to see because I moved my stamp. I used my stamp already, but it has little palm trees in the letters and little lines at the bottom, kind of like water. And then there's this happy, these cool sunglasses, fun in the sun. And then there's just a couple little icons, and then this at the bottom, like it could be trees in the background, it could be, you know, like oat grass, whatever. And I thought, okay, this is a cool summery looking layout. I could use this. And these stamps, interestingly, do not come with thin cuts, but they were super easy. They're not hard to cut out. They're simple shapes, which thank goodness. But I thought I would make a cool title. This one, what I did was I used, you know, my color palette. So I have coral and green turquoise here. And I basically did the lightest color of coral at the top, and then kind of made it go down to a dark color at the top of the water, like where the sun would be going down. And then the water is darkest in the distance and lighter in the foreground, and that's how I colored that. And I just think that looks pretty cool. So I thought, all right, that's a really neat title. And then I like the idea of, if I'm gonna do that, I have a million pictures of, like, you know, the sunsets. How many times have you gone on vacation and, you know, your hotel window, you know, you have like the sun going down, or you're out on the beach and you just take picture after picture after picture. And I thought this would be a great layout for those summer nights. And so I thought I'll put the title on like this. It'll look really cool because I can put my sunset pictures. Now, or I could go ahead and do my 70s pictures. And I'm not sure which I'm going to use yet, but I think I have some 70s pictures that I think are going to go really well in here. And I'm going to put, I just got some plain melon cardstock and I put across it, and that'll be like the mat to my photos. Okay, so I have summer nights and my photos. Now, the other thing that was really big in the 70s were these combos of colors of green, like a turquoise, green, and gold, which does not sound like it should go together at all. But in the 70s, that was the cool thing, right? And so I kind of went with that palette and decided I would go ahead and, you know, you can use the softer color of it. But I thought it would be really neat to make some stripes. And this is honey butter, and I don't like the bright side of honey butter, but the lighter side looks really good on here. So this is my plan. I was gonna do chevrons, but I'm gonna save my chevron trick for another day. And this is basically it. And I thought, well, this is so plain, but with this, when you think of how vibrant and beautiful the pictures are of like the sunsets and things, these photos will shine. I can put 2 here and 2 here, and a little, you know, journaling, and maybe some shimmer dots. I'm not sure yet, but that's my plan for this melon paper. I thought about adding a little shimmer trim, but I thought added a little too much. So I'm holding off on that until I put my photos down. You know, I looked for my photos before I came over here today, and I have like gobs of old pictures, and of the beach and stuff, and I would have had to go through multiple trips to look for the ones I have in mind. So when these are all done, I'll put a picture up on the group page. And you know, that nights I use that Havana alphabet again. Man, that Havana alphabet, I am getting a lot of mileage out of that. Okay, so yeah, this is really a cool stamp set, you guys. This is normally not one I would buy right away, but there's something about it that called my name, and I think it was the sunglasses. I thought those are so fun. Those are so cool. The other thing I thought that might look good on the bottom is the stamp of the month in a soft color like desert rose at the bottom, just to give it like a shadow tone across the bottom, like sea oats, because those really do kind of look like not just grass, but you know, like this along the beach, how there's like, I think they're called sea oats or seagrass. So I just think that would look really cool. I don't think I want to do them in black or gray, so I picked a color that I thought, you know, it's a little darker than melon, but not so dark that it clashes. So that's another thing I thought about doing with that one. I was gonna do that live with you, but then I came up with this other page idea. So I really love this color. You know, this is Seabrook, and I just love how Seabrook looks with the melon. And you can use the dark side, the light side. I kind of like the dark side with this. It's a little dark, but and then I cut a piece of white down to 11 by 11, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. Otherwise, it'll be scooching and it'll drive me crazy while I'm talking to you. So let me just put that on real quick. You know, by making it 11 by 11, you're basically giving yourself about a 1/4 inch on all sides. And I'm gonna make the 2 pages match. And, you know, there have been some very, very fun layouts that people are posting using the melon paper, and they're trying to make their melon paper last. Like they're cutting it up into little bits and pieces and making it last. And I'm the other way. I don't want any left over. I don't want little bits and pieces. And so I'm using it. So my layouts are full of melon paper. So what, I really like this floral pattern, but the gingham is just calling my name, and I really love how it looks on here. So I cut it down to 10.5 by 10.5 so that, there's a border of white and a border of Seabrook on each side. And depending on the photos that you use, I do think that the flower side would look great too, but I just had to use the check. There's something about summer pictures and fall pictures that I like the checks, and I think the page I'm making right here could easily be a fall page. You add a little paprika to it and you got fall. It's beautiful. And now I want to add some stripes at the bottom. I want to make sure you're in camera here. Okay. I want to add some stripes. And so I pulled out just a few things. I really love, like I said, so when I cut these off, I had a little strips of paper left, and I had the check flower print to use. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use that on these pages, and I tore it so I had a white edge. I thought that was neat. Cut those to 10.5. I have zip strips. I really love the zip strips. I could use those. The other thought I had was the sticker sheets have these kind of arched, what are those called? Little trim strips. I could use those, and those have little hearts on them, so that's a possibility. But I kind of like the idea of using my zip strips on here, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on and have that part done. So there's that one, and there's that one. I'm not really paying attention to which way the little lines are. I could have had them, the little pattern on the zips, but it's okay. Now the other thing that I think the page needs is a little more blue to tie in that Seabrook color, and so I pulled out Seabrook glitter paper. Now Seabrook glitter paper is one of the prettiest glitter papers that we have. In some lights it looks green, in some lights it looks gray. It has a really cool tone, and it really looks great. The melon glitter paper, you can see, is a little darker than the melon color, and so you can see if I wanted to make this using the melon glitter paper, I could add paprika paper to this, or papaya, just something a little darker than melon, and check it out. I mean, this would look very fall. It would look fall. Those leaves, those die cut leaves that we had last year that cut out all the different color, like you can cut them in any color or shape you wanted. That would be a very cool layout. So I used the Seabrook, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that down. Now, the glitter paper from Close to My Heart is great because it doesn't, glitter does not fall all over the place. I recently was using up some of my stash, and I was stunned at how much glitter I had all over everything when I was done. And And so I was like, okay, I am spoiled with the close to my heart glitter paper. I am spoiled because it does not do that. I mean, I've been rubbing it with my hands. I don't have anything on me, so. And the only thing about glitter paper is it's a little, you know, it's a little chunkier surface. And so if you're gonna glue to it, you need to use a stronger adhesive. Like, you don't wanna just use your plain Jane tape runner, right? Okay, so I really love how this page looks. And to me, I think it still needs more of the Seabrook color. And so I pulled out this paper. This is the paper from the mix-in this round on April-June mix-in, and it has that Seabrook color. And I thought if I put this like this, it could be the matte of either, you know, a horizontal like 5x7 or 2 upright 4x6s, and then I can highlight a main photo over here. So I love the idea of using this like a photo mat. Now, because I don't know how I'm going to decorate it, I'm not going to put my adhesive all the way to the edge because I'm not totally sure how yet I'm going to decorate. So I have tuck-in space all the way around, basically. And this one I'm not going to put down yet, because I don't know if I have an upright or horizontal picture for this. Not sure yet. But I do have some extra Seabrook glitter, which I love. That's that. Now, I don't know if you guys remember. Let me see if I have it out. Did I put it away? There was a floral stamp set, and it's still available. And there's all kinds of little flowers that you can cut in different. Let me see if I got it. Gosh, why would I put that away when I'm showing you all? Oh, here it is. Okay. It's called Floral Blooms, and you can see it has tons of die cuts, and it has tons of shapes that you can pick. And so I had a whole bunch cut already, so I just stamped them in my color palette. So I stamped the leaves in Seabrook, the flowers, some of the flowers in Glacier, and some in Melon. And then for these flowers, the stamp itself is a very basic lined image right here. And so I stamped it in Glacier, and then, you know, I had it on the block, stamped it in Glacier, it gave me lines, and then I flipped it over on the block, stamped it in Glacier, and put it over, and it gave me the color. That way I did not have to color everything. And you can do that with any stamp set that you have if you're like me and you don't want to color in every image. You can flip it over and use the solid side as coloring. All right, so now I just need to decide, you know, how I want my flowers organized. The other thing I cut was a pocket, you know, that Cosette pocket. I just keep finding really cool ideas and uses for it. Oh, look at that side. That side's cool. The stitching is on that side. Oh, that's okay. I'm going to use the weird side anyway. I'm going to use the pattern side. I don't care. It'll be mostly covered with flowers anyway. There, look at that. Isn't that neat? Okay, so I have this little pocket. I thought I'd put it in the corner. I'm going to move things forward a little bit so it's more in vision in line. So the other thing that I did was I took these flowers and I stamped them in melon, and then some of them I rolled in papaya. So the edges are papaya, and so some of them are a little darker than others, and you can see that. Just trying to show it in my light, and I thought that way it just gives it a little more something, little more dimension or something. So I just love how that looks. And then of course I have the blue, which I can tuck in anywhere. And wow, these are really pretty. This is turning out nicer than I dreamed, so yay. Okay, and then I have all these leaves I cut out. You know, I had a whole bunch, so I just stamped a whole bunch, and you can set those up. These leaves are like either way leaves. You can put them this way where they're more smooth, or you can tuck them in and they're more wavy. So you can put your leaves in. I made enough to kind of put everywhere. Tuck in, tuck in, tuck in. Like that. Gosh, this is really pretty. I like how this is turning out. And then I had two of these teeny ones that I just stamped in melon and did a quick fussy cut, because I thought it kind of needed, like, I don't know, a little something. All right, love it so much. And I could even add, the melon glitter to it. You can see how that adds some pop to the page. You know, I did get the melon, ribbon, and I'm not crazy about it. I'm just not a big, first of all, I got, you know, confession, I'm not a big melon freak. This isn't like my favorite color, but there's something about the melon ribbon I just didn't love. But it would look nice on here. I think it's just too bright compared to the paper. It's okay. It'd be great for a card. And I have used some of it, obviously. It's just a gingham. And then we have all these stickers, so I could make a really neat, like, little banner. I think I will kind of make a banner in the corner over here. And I think I might take my Seabrook and color some of these white banners so that they're more blue, so that I can alternate them into the corner. So I am going to do that, and I'm going to use this Simply the Best as my title, Out of Laziness. And so I'm going to use a few of the stickers, and I have both the shaped melon and just the plain circle dot melon, and I will use some of those. I may even color some of the shimmery ones a Seabrook color, or see if I have a blue color, because you know that, just a second, that one blue, this blue pack, that color right there is essentially Seabrook, and that might look really nice as a contrast with it. So I'm going to leave that out and play with that a little bit. So this layout is essentially done, and it is one that, you know, I will toy with a little bit. I'm going to put some of these up on foam, which, oh, by the way, so you guys will see me using all kinds of foam tape, but the Close to My Heart thin foam tape is like the best, and it's all I buy. So if I'm using fat, like thick foam tape, I don't care what brand I use, because you can get that anywhere. You can get it cheap. But the thin stuff is a little harder to find, and on scrapbook pages, I like to use dimension, but I don't want it to be so thick. And so the close to my heart thin foam tape is the way to go. And they said they've just got a whole bunch of it in stock. So it should be up on the website again. I spend my money on this. I find the thin stuff is definitely worth the money. I haven't been able to find it cheap anywhere else, but I'll definitely pop up some of the flowers and that kind of thing. I hope you like this. I think this turned out really cool. It's very country looking. I could totally see, along with the flowers, I could totally see me using some of my, remember that, was it called Kiss the Cook or Eat, Play, Love? That set with the kitchen items, the little pitchers and things like that, rolling pins and stuff. I could totally see this being a cooking kitchen layout, because to me that has like has that feel. I love it. It would be great for my cat. She's got the coloring that would make that one look really good too. Okay, third layout. I told you I'm using up my melon. So, okay, I know it's a lot. It's busy because I don't have pictures on it yet. It won't look so busy. I tried to pull out, so I have some pictures of me and Steve when we first started dating, and they are gonna go perfect on this layout. The only problem is that a couple of them are old Polaroids. Remember the Polaroids, that instant with the weird border? And I know that you can cut those up later, but I think they start losing their color if you do that. And so I don't want to cut them up to fit my shapes. I gotta cut some windows and stuff to make them fit. But I think this will be perfect. It says, you don't find the happy life, you make it. And then I treasure your smile from the, close to my heart, the Operation Smile from last year. I treasure your smile. I think that'll be really great on there. And I have several of the stickers. So my thought is with this one, what I did was I took a strip of the melon glitter and I put it across the center. It's like a 3.5-inch strip. And then this paper, I just cut like a 3-inch strip and I tore the edge and started rolling it up like this. So you can see some of the polka dots from the back of the paper because I rolled it. And then here is like a 4.5-inch strip and I did the same thing, only rolled it down. So it kind of reminds me of like those geode cakes where, it's like it has the paper that's showing through the top layer. And I liked it so well, I did it on both sides so that they match. And then I cut it off at the bottom and it needed something, and nothing I did looked right to me. And so I did take a strip of when I tore my paper off, I had like this left over. And so I just stuck one of those down at the bottom. And so I have some polka dots on there and it looks fine. It looks just fine. And it gives your eye a transition point to that white. It's not quite so stark. And then I just took my hexagon dies and I started cutting. So this is like papaya front and back and melon front and back. And so you see 4 colors on here, but in reality, it's only 2 colors of cardstock. So this is papaya, the front and the back, and then melon is front and back. And you can you would be able to see that if it was closer together, that it's 2 different colors of melon. But and then what I did was I put some of them flat, like these are totally flat. And then these I popped up with a little foam. And then in each cluster at the bottom, I was going to just sort of randomly put them all the way across the bottom, but I liked it in clusters like this. So I know it sounds crazy, but my other thought with this, with the way the hexagons have turned out and stuff, is that this would make a very cool Disney page. I have some pictures from the Contemporary Resort, and they have all those weird geometrics and modern looking things in their lobby. And I thought, oh, those would look kind of cool on here. And then it might even look good with just the, you know, the pictures of the characters, the princesses and stuff, just as a general page. But I think I'm going to end up using it for our dating. I have all these random photos of us that our parents took when we were dating. You know, I was like 16 and 17 years old. And Steve looks so dorky. I haven't ever, you know, back then guys wore their hair so different and they dressed so differently. It was like 1981. So you can only imagine like some of those pictures. And I didn't want to put them on here because, man, every time somebody sees those pictures, they comment on Steve's look because he's got his big glasses and his long hair and he just looks so different. So this is the picture you're gonna get of this one. Not with photos. Unless I change my mind. But I just thought this was really fun. And you know what's interesting is I didn't use very much of my sticker sheet, even though I have made 3 2-page layouts. I'll probably end up using these banners, some of these right here. These are like little washi tape things, and I thought, well, I could use those depending on how I do those Polaroid pictures. I could use those washi tape looking pieces. And these little, this happened, my happy place, here's the story, remember this. Some of those might work its way onto this page after pictures. But overall, I'm pretty well done. The other thought I had too is sequins, because with the geometrics of this page, sequins kind of look cool on it. And I just need to pull my sequins out because I think I have some rose gold ones that would look really good on here. Anyway, ta-da! So there are my pages today. This one I'm going to be putting together a little more, and I'm going to be putting this one together a little more. I didn't want you to have to sit and watch me glue, but the way that I've been scrapbooking lately is just like this. I've just been taking a whole paper pack, cutting things apart, arranging it in my mind how I want it to be, and then I go pull tons of pictures and just and get them done. One last thing I want to show you. Speaking of using up my scraps, I pulled out kind of the last of my, the winter 4 seasons pack. I only had 1 piece left of that really great kind of, it had like that really neat wintry plant print on one side, and the other side is this flannel. And I put it onto the back side of espresso, and I kept it really soft using rosemary. And then I had 1 piece left of my mix-in with its burlap texture, and I just put it on here because I needed a soft look. It was for a winter thing that we did at night, and I didn't want any bold colors at all, and I thought that turned out really nice. And again, that Seabrook glitter, wow, isn't that pretty? It's just so pretty. And using the acrylic stars, I think, were really neat. I might even get out my shimmer brush and put a little shimmer on those. I spattered shimmer brush across the top. I don't know how well you can see that. And then this is an oldie. You guys might remember it. So a long time ago, we had, what was the name? Bloom and Grace. Like, was it 2 years ago? Bloom and Grace. It was so popular with all the sunflowers and the boots and all of that. And I had some Hey Handsome and mix-ins left for that. And so I just started putting them together on a page, used up the stickers that I had left, and I kind of kept this zip strip with it because I'm going to use that depending on the pictures that I put on there. Cool. I thought about using it for some of our car pictures even, because it's got that, it's on Harbor, so it's got that blue look and our car is blue. So yeah, I just thought that was really neat. We have different options for pictures. Anyway, I just wanted to show you what I've been up to, and I hope that you're getting out your scraps and starting to put things together. I have probably a 4 or 5 inch stack of layouts that I have done with pictures in the last couple of months, just because I'm doing this styling, pulling out a paper pack, pulling out my mix-ins, and starting to just put them down in a great way so that I can use it up and not store it, and you know, all of that. So let me know if you guys have any questions, if you want to make any of these projects. I can send you more pictures or ideas. And if you feel like I'm just way too long and you think these should be shorter, let me know, because I know that these are a lot to watch. Have a nice evening. Thank you.